Imagine waking before sunrise inside a shelter surrounded by snow. The fire is almost out. The temperature outside is far below freezing. There are no supermarkets, central heating, insulated homes, or weather forecasts. Your family's survival depends on whether enough fuel remains, whether yesterday's hunt succeeded, and whether the clothing protecting your children stays dry. For ancient people, winter was not simply uncomfortable. It was a constant test. A damaged boot could cause frostbite. A failed hunt could leave an entire family without food. A fire going out during the night could become deadly. Yet people survived across Arctic regions, frozen grasslands, and the harsh conditions of the last ice age. They survived because every part of daily life was designed around the cold. Clothing, shelter, food, tools, travel, and family relationships formed one connected survival system. Today, we are stepping inside the lives of ancient families to understand how they survived some of the coldest environments on Earth. The fire that could not go out. For a family living in extreme cold, fire was life. It provided warmth, melted snow into drinking water, cooked food, dried clothing, and created light during long winter darkness. Starting a fire in freezing conditions was difficult. Wood could be wet, frozen, or buried beneath snow. In some Arctic regions, trees were scarce or absent. Families used whatever fuel the environment provided. Driftwood, dry grass, moss, shrubs, animal fat, and dried dung could all be burned. The most important skill was often keeping an existing fire alive. Hot embers could be preserved beneath ash and used to restart the flame later. Someone had to check the fire during the night. Fuel had to be collected before a storm. Children learned early that wasting firewood was dangerous. Every piece represented future warmth. Inside a small shelter, fire combined with body heat. Families slept close together to conserve energy. The fire also became the center of family life. People cooked, repaired tools, and passed survival knowledge to the next generation. Clothing was portable shelter. Ancient cold-weather clothing was far more advanced than skins simply wrapped around the body. A traveler needed clothing that trapped heat without becoming dangerously wet. Moisture was one of the greatest threats. Sweat could freeze inside clothing. Snow entering a boot could melt against the skin and rapidly lower body temperature. Animal fur worked well because its hairs trapped warm air. Caribou and reindeer fur were especially valuable. Families wore several layers. An inner layer might face towards the body, while an outer layer faced away. Hoods protected the head. Mittens allowed fingers to share heat. Boots were made from prepared skins, fur, and dry grass that absorbed moisture. Clothing required constant maintenance. Seams were inspected. Wet garments were dried. Skins were scraped, stretched, and softened. A person who could make waterproof boots or repair a torn parka helped protect the entire family. Garments were adjusted, reused, and passed down as children grew. Ancient clothing worked like shelter carried on the body. Without it, even a short journey could become fatal. Building a home that trapped heat, ancient shelters changed depending on the location, season, and available materials. During the last ice age, families could stretch animal hides across frames made from wood, bone, or tusks. A shelter needed to block wind while remaining small enough to retain heat. Low entrances reduced heat loss. Hides, grass, and fur separated sleeping bodies from the frozen ground. In Arctic regions, homes could be built using stone, turf, driftwood, whalebone, and animal skins. Thick walls trapped warmth. Narrow entrance tunnels kept cold air lower, while warm air remained inside the raised living area. Temporary snow shelters also protected travelers. Snow contains trapped air and can provide effective insulation. Body heat and a small lamp could make the interior much warmer than the air outside. But shelter construction required experience. Poor ventilation could allow smoke or dangerous gases to build up. A weak roof could collapse. An entrance facing the wrong direction could allow wind and snow inside. Shelter was practical knowledge of heat, airflow, and local materials. Finding enough food to stay warm. In extreme cold, the body burns enormous amounts of energy. For ancient families, hunger created two dangers: starvation and losing the body heat needed to survive. Fat was especially valuable because it provided dense energy. Families hunted animals such as reindeer, caribou, seals, and fish. A successful hunt supplied far more than meat. Fat became food or lamp fuel. Skins became clothing and shelter coverings. Bones became tools and needles. Sinew became thread. Antlers became handles and equipment. Nothing could be wasted. But hunting was dangerous and unpredictable. Hunters could return injured or empty-handed. Storms could trap people indoors. Animals could move away from expected routes. Families preserved food by freezing, drying, smoking, or fermenting it. Food could be stored beneath snow, inside pits, or in protected caches. Sharing was also essential. A family with a successful hunt could help relatives or neighbors. Later, another family might return the favor. Sharing protected the group against bad luck. How children survived. Children lost heat faster than adults and depended on others for food, clothing, and protection. Infants needed to remain close to the body. Carrying systems allowed parents to share warmth while moving. Soft skins and fur created insulated sleeping areas. Older children began learning survival tasks early. They collected fuel, helped prepare food, and watched adults work. They needed to know which ice was dangerous, which weather signs warned of a storm, and how to keep clothing dry. These lessons could not wait until adulthood. One mistake in extreme cold could be fatal. Children were also the future of the group. They carried language, hunting knowledge, and practical skills into the next generation. Older people were equally valuable. Even if age made hunting difficult, experience could save lives. An elder might remember migration routes, dangerous weather, or how the family survived an earlier shortage. In a world without written instructions, memory was a survival resource. Traveling without becoming lost. Extreme cold often forced families to move. Animals migrated. Fishing areas changed. Fuel became scarce. Seasonal camps had to be relocated. Travel exposed people to storms, wind, and dangerous ice. Snow could erase tracks, and darkness could last for much of the day. Travelers navigated using mountains, coastlines, rivers, the sun, moon, and stars. Wind patterns and snowdrifts could reveal direction. Experienced people learned to read the sounds and movement of sea ice. Sleds helped carry food, tools, shelters, and children. Dogs pulled loads in some regions. Snowshoes spread weight across soft snow. Skis were used in parts of Eurasia. These tools reduced energy use. That mattered because exhaustion in cold weather was dangerous. A tired person produced less heat, made poorer decisions, and became more likely to fall or become separated. Before traveling, families checked clothing, packed food, discussed routes, and examined the weather. The goal was not speed. It was reaching the destination with everyone alive. Surviving storms. A sudden storm could turn a familiar landscape into a wall of snow. Visibility disappeared. Temperatures fell. Wind stripped heat from exposed skin. A traveler only a short distance from home could become lost. Ancient families prepared before emergencies happened. Food and fuel were stored. Tools were kept ready. Shelters were repaired before winter became severe. Travelers carried fire-making materials and knew where emergency shelter could be built. They understood that continuing through a whiteout could be more dangerous than stopping. Wet clothing had to be dealt with immediately because it removed heat rapidly. The family might stop, build shelter, and replace or dry the wet layer. Frostbite also required fast action. Numb fingers could no longer repair tools or start a fire. Ancient people did not use modern medical terms, but experience taught them what was dangerous. They knew wind mattered. They knew hunger made cold harder to resist. They knew exhaustion could kill. These warnings were passed through stories from one generation to the next. Ancient families survived extreme cold because every part of life supported every other part. Fire provided warmth, cooked food, and created a place where knowledge could be shared. Animals provided meat, clothing, shelter, tools, and fuel. Families shared food, body heat, work, and experience. Children learned early. Older people preserved knowledge. No single invention made survival possible. Warm clothing without food would fail. A strong shelter without fuel would fail. A skilled hunter traveling alone could still disappear in a storm. Survival came from preparation, cooperation, adaptation, and knowledge developed across generations. Ancient people did not conquer the cold. They respected it. They understood that a small mistake could become deadly and that every family member had a role. Their lives were difficult, but they were not only lives of suffering. Families ate together. Children played. Stories were told beside the fire. People created clothing, jewelry, tools, and traditions. Even in the coldest places on Earth, they built homes and communities. The most remarkable thing is not that ancient people endured the cold. It is that they created full human lives within it. Which survival technique impressed you the most? And would you survive one winter using only tools available thousands of years ago? Leave your answer in the comments. Subscribe for more stories about ancient survival, lost skills, and how ordinary people lived through the harshest conditions in history.